What's up everybody, Ash here for the SSS League with some tips and tricks I've picked up during my first dozen plus hours of playing Assassin's Creed Origins. And since we're all about helping you get the most out of your gaming experience, here they are as concisely as possible so we can all get back to playing this beautiful and immersive game. Origins is a graphically demanding game. If you're playing on PC, finding the optimal settings for your hardware can take some time, especially if you're like me and you want to optimize each setting individually. On the graphics settings page in the options menu, there's a real-time performance meter to show you how well the game is running, and a GPU impact meter that will show you the effect your changes will have on your graphics card and your VRAM. You can immediately see which changes will make a real difference to performance and which won't. Why doesn't every game have this? Note that your performance stats won't show up if you don't have a game in progress, but if you don't want to interrupt gameplay to mess with the graphics settings, there's a built-in benchmarking tool that will test the game's performance at your current settings. Origins has a ton of fun movement mechanics, most of which are triggered by a single button labeled the climb button in your key bindings. There's no need to repeatedly press this button while you're climbing, jumping, and swinging all over the place. Just hold it down and you'll parkour like a champ until you release it. Just be careful you don't take a blind leap you weren't intending. Look for viewpoints marked with this eagle symbol on your map. Climb up to synchronize with these as early as possible. Not only does this increase your eagle Senu's perception, it marks points of interest on your map and unlocks the viewpoints as fast travel points. And by the way, you can find new quests on the map by looking for this diamond symbol. Speaking of maps and traveling, this next tip is one of my favorite things in the game. While riding a mount, you can press and hold the auto walk button to tell it to follow roads. Then, if you have a tracked quest objective or have placed a custom marker on the map, it'll give you the option to have your mount take you right to it. No guarantee that it won't give itself a concussion or cause bodily harm to pedestrians on the way, but it'll get you there. Bear in mind that it might not take the most direct route, since it'll generally stick to predefined travel routes, but you can take back control at any time by using your movement buttons. You basically have infinite torches, and you can drop them wherever you want, whenever you want. Where are you keeping all those torches, Bayek? And how are you lighting them? Ancient Egypt truly was a magical place. Anyway, if you ever feel like you need a bit more light in an area, just drop a few torches around and explore in well-lit comfort. And while we're on the topic of fire, many hostile locations, especially the larger fortified ones you encounter in cities, contain fire braziers? Braziers? Big-ass fire pits that they use as beacons to call for reinforcements if they realize they're under attack. If a small flame icon appears above an enemy's head, it means they're running to light the beacon. Try to stop them before they get there, or you'll have a much bigger fight on your hands. Of course, you could always just booby-trap the darn thing beforehand, and then you can just sit back and watch the fireworks. And if that doesn't satisfy your sociopathic pyromania, you can use your dropped torches or any other open flame to set your arrows on fire before you shoot them. Someone cooking Greek? Finally, let's talk about items and crafting. There are several different classes of ranged and melee weapons, each of which plays very differently. Take some time to familiarize yourself with the different types to find out which best suits your playstyle. You'll probably want to hang on to a few different types for use in different situations. Individual weapons and shields have level rankings as well as special attributes that affect how the item performs. These attributes will differ from weapon to weapon and can include things like bleeding damage, critical hit frequency, and protection from various kinds of damage. The item's rarity affects how many attributes it has. Common items have 1 attribute, rare items have 2, and legendary items have 3. Many of these attributes have a level stat ranging from 1 to 4. The higher the level, the more powerful the effect. The number and quality of these attributes is the most important factor to pay attention to when deciding which weapons to keep and which to discard. The item's level affects how useful it is at the moment, but don't be too quick to get rid of a low-level item with good attributes. You can visit a blacksmith and upgrade any item to your current level at any time. If you have enough coin, that is. And speaking of coin, weapons you're not using can of course be sold, but they can also be dismantled for crafting materials, which can then be used to upgrade your static gear. These kinds of crafting materials are generally harder to come by than money. Seriously, there's money and useless sellable items everywhere, in random baskets and grain sacks. Why is it that in one of the most advanced civilizations in the ancient world, nobody's thought to invent banks? Anyway, I usually prefer to strip down my unused items for mats rather than selling them. On the other hand, upgrading weapons does get fairly expensive as you progress through the game, so maybe you'd rather have the money? Either way, you're going to be grinding for something, so I guess it comes down to personal preference. So those are my tips for getting the most out of Assassin's Creed Origins. If you know of any others that I haven't covered here, please put them in a comment below. Don't forget to like and sub, and thank you so much for watching. Hey everybody, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and sub. Huge thanks to our Patreon supporters. If you happen to be watching this on your mobile device, we'd love it if you installed an app or a game using our GOTBox link. It's a great way to support this channel and it doesn't cost you a thing. Tap right here or go to gotbox.com/the League. We've got big plans and tons of content coming in the future, and your views and support mean everything to us.